Hi everyone, I'm Shaylin here with Reedsy. Today let's talk about how to start a publishing company. If you're an indie author, you may be wondering if starting your own publishing company is the right bet for you, rather than just publishing under your own name. Now, it's not exactly an easy process, and it's not something that all indie authors need to do. It's fully okay to be a self-published author and just publish under your own name. But these are some reasons why you might want to consider starting your own publishing company for your self-published works. Number one, you're publishing a series or several series of books. It might not be worth it to go through the hassle of starting a publishing company just to publish one book. But if you're planning on a long publishing career, then it might be worth it in the long run. Number two is for tax benefits. If your writing is being conducted as a business rather than a hobby, then that allows you to deduct a lot of writing related and business related expenses. So if you want to enjoy some nice tax benefits, then you'll want to be operating as a business rather than just a hobbyist. Number three, you want to appear more of a professional rather than just a hobbyist. Some readers are still less likely to pick up a book that's clearly been self-published. But if you have your own imprint, that can kind of disguise the fact that it's a self-published book. Similarly, some bookstores and libraries are still less likely to stock self-published books, so this can also help you bypass that and get more shelf space. And number four, you have a concrete brand that you'd like to expand on in the long run to maybe even include works by other authors. You're writing books in an area with a higher risk of liability, such as technical books or health-related books, or you just want more protection for your personal assets. Now, it's not often that self-published authors just get sued, but starting a publishing company can give you added protection for your personal income and assets. And finally, it gives you the ability to start growing your own brand. If you set up the infrastructure, you can start working with other authors, publishing other books, and ultimately expand your marketing reach and increase your sales. If these don't apply to you, then it's totally fine to just publish under your own name. This isn't a requirement, and many self-published authors have successful careers just publishing under their own name. But if these do apply to you, then this might be something that you might want to consider for your publishing and marketing plan. Now, keep in mind, first of all, that this should all be done with consideration of your local laws. The information here is primarily based on the US, but you should double check everything and consult with professionals, specifically professionals in your area. So first of all, what are some of the benefits to starting your own publishing company? So how would you actually go about starting a publishing company? First of all, start by evaluating your goals for your project so you can create a solid game plan that's going to be beneficial for you. What are the reasons why you want to start a publishing company? What kind of books do you want to publish? Your books only or titles from other authors? What income range are you expecting? And be realistic for this one. And finally, how do you see the business growing over the span of 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years? Again, from a realistic standpoint. The second thing you want to do is establish your business structure. This means figuring out what kind of company it is you're looking to start, and you have basically 4 options here. Number one, a sole proprietorship. This is a business operated and owned by one person, and it's basically the simplest route that you can take. Number two is a corporation. This is a group of people or organization authorized to run the company as one single entity. So this one is a little bit more complex. Number three is a partnership. So when 2 or more parties agree to manage the company together. And finally is an LLC. This one is a little more complicated, but essentially it means that you get the asset protection that a corporation would receive, but you get the versatility and tax benefits of a sole proprietorship or a partnership, meaning that the business's taxes can be paid through someone's personal tax return. So most authors start their businesses as either a sole proprietorship or an LLC, since these are the most flexible and the most simple. However, an LLC offers more liability protection. This means that your personal assets are protected from any debts incurred by the company. So that is what we would recommend starting your business as, but some authors do go with the sole proprietorship option. Now that we've talked about taxes, how about choosing a name? Finally, the fun stuff. There still are a lot of things you want to consider. Number one is the branding of the company. You want the name you choose to be congruous with your intended target market. You want to think about the genres that you intend to publish, as well as the category you intend to publish for. If you're planning on publishing middle grade, then you want a name that appeals to a middle grade audience. It's going to be very different than if you plan on writing really dark, gritty, crime noir novels. Second of all is relatability. You want to be strategic with your name and choose something that people can kind of understand immediately. This means probably shying away from made-up words. Made-up words don't really evoke anything when we see them because we don't know what it is. So you're probably better to go with existing words that sound nice together and fit well with your target demographic. If you really do want to go with a made-up word, I would highly suggest running it through Google Translate to make sure that it's not something inappropriate or weird in a language that you don't speak. And finally, you want to keep it short. This isn't the time to choose the most poetic title ever because we're not writing poetry, we're naming our business. So choose something short, 1, 2, maybe 3 words. Also, don't just add on the word Inc. because it sounds good. You only want to add that if you're actually planning on incorporating the business. And of course, you want to make sure that it's not taken already. Before you get too attached to anything, check first of all to make sure that it's not trademarked, and then check to make sure that the URLs and social media handles are available. Finally, you want to make it official and actually register your business. In order to actually start an official company, here are a few things you need to sort out. Number one, obtain your EIN or employer identification number. This is kind of like a social security number for your business. Number two, set up a business bank account. You can do this once you have an EIN, and it'll allow you to keep all your personal and business finances separate, which will make doing your taxes a lot easier. Number three, you want to set up an accounting system. To do this, you can use a free resource like Google Sheets or a tool like QuickBooks. However, this is something you want to get down from the start and stay organized with from the start. If you're not sure what tool to use, I will leave a bunch of them linked in the description. And finally, you want to register your domain name. If someone hears about your business, the first thing they're probably going to do is Google you. Not having a website or having a website that doesn't have a custom URL looks a bit amateur. And the last thing that you might want to do is grow your team. Even if you're only publishing your own books and not really planning on hiring any employees, self-publishing a book requires a lot of very specialized work. If you go through all the trouble of setting up a business to make your work look more professional, but then you don't get it professionally proofread, so it's full of typos, or you don't invest in a cover, so then it's not really worth going through all that effort to start your own business if the actual packaging of the book doesn't reflect the professional quality that you put into the business. So you can start finding the network of freelancers that you want to work with over the course of your entire publishing career, which cover artists you work well with, editors that you might want to develop a long-lasting relationship with. So that is how to start a publishing company. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe for new writing, editing, and publishing videos every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time.